right, we're live. Hello, everybody. It's happy time. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for being patient. We're getting just a teeny bit of a late start. Not because we weren't here, but because, I just keep talking. And that's my issue.
Don't we all?
But, it is good to be live at Academy Voices Live. It's Thursday. My name is Antoine. No, it's Anthony.
I like Antoine though. It works with the hat.
Antoine. Yes, I'm Antoine.
I'm Gabby. It's still just me.
And I'm Angela.
Yes, and we're crazy people.
Angela, what does your cup say? I saw it very briefly.
It says booked and busy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that.
That's right.
So today on Academy Voices Live, we have been, Gabby and Angela and I have been busy. Gabby and Angela have been really busy. There's so much going on at Academy Voices. A lot of wonderful things. We are getting closer and closer to that 650 audiobook published mark. It's very exciting. I've had multiple authors reaching out recently for per finished hour work. A big blast. And we thought we could take today to even do a little bit of roundtable talking about some of the things that we think could help voice actors, book more work on Academy Voices, and also answer any questions that you have about Academy Voices, and just give you some information of some of the things we're seeing, because it's always interested me. And then we can go ahead, ladies, we'll get in this conversation now. What's always interested me is how, no matter where you are in your voiceover business, the one of the most important things is communication, and how communication can easily get away from you if you are not specifically seeking it out. Right. So, I mean, like, what I mean by that is like, I don't know about you guys, but I have I feels like 20 different emails. I've got, we've got all these millions of platforms we're on, social media sites, websites. We're on so much, right? And I think because of all of that, we're always expecting communication to somehow come right in front of our face without us doing anything. Right. And right.
It would be great.
I'm just sitting here and my phone goes, hey, you have a message. I'm waiting.
There's probably an app for that.
It's probably an app for that. Yes. But with that being said, I want to talk to both of you, because both of you I've seen, guys talking about it in posts and stuff like that. We do have, when it comes to Academy Voices, we have a communication system there. And I know I was talking to someone this morning too, who was a little confused about that communication system because of VO Journey Academy. So let's talk about that. Who wants to go first about the communicative situation?
Angela, you want to start us off?
Well, I mean, with our situation, I know we have the benefit of Discord, and we get so accustomed to every bit of information coming to Discord for the Academy.
Yeah.
But I think that what we forget is that Academy Voices is a separate entity. And just like ACX, just like Fiverr, just like Upwork, just like any other platform, it has its own communication system. So, and not everybody in Academy Voices is in a VOJ. Exactly. So there has to be a specific place for just Academy Voices communication. So, and every once in a while I have to throw a reminder in there. Hey guys, I would love to publish your books, but please check your messages so we can get some, get this streamlined. But I think we just forget that because we have Discord, everything goes there.
Yeah, that's I mean, that is a very good point. I think because Discord and VO Journey Academy, and maybe people don't realize, if you're in VO Journey Academy, right, you have access, you're on Academy Voices, but there are getting closer to, there are almost hundreds of people on Academy Voices that are not a part of VOJ.
Right.
Yeah.
So they are not in the Discord. They're not in any of the communications that go through VO Journey Academy. So it is separate. Gabby, what are you seeing?
Well, what I'm seeing on the casting side is twofold. So one, I think anyone in a casting position, even if, like the work that we're casting or the majority of it right now, the expectation is, of course, that the talent is recording on their own. So it's not like it's a directed session. It's not like we have to communicate a ton beforehand. But it is customary, right, that you at least acknowledge, like, hey, I got your message. This is great. Booked a job. Yes, the deadline works for me. At least something to say, got it. And this way we know that you are actively working on the project. Because otherwise what happens is we'll get busy, a couple of weeks will go by, we'll look at the deadline and go, oh, I haven't seen anything from so-and-so. And then we send a follow-up message. And often we hear, oh, I didn't know I booked that, or I had no idea. And so that can be really frustrating because then that completely delays the project. I think the other thing is, because Academy Voices is so self-contained, it's understanding, like almost like a social media, right? If I'm posting, in this case, auditioning, then I have an obligation to check those messages, because if I book, right, like how would I know otherwise? So yeah, because we don't have the time to go track everybody down.
So what is the process for Academy Voices in terms of from when the job is posted for open for auditions to select? I mean, how does that go? Just so everybody's aware.
So what happens is, if you book a job, I go into our message portal in Academy Voices and I send you a DM through it. Now, what's supposed to happen is that the DM triggers an email that alerts you in your email address that you have received a message. However, if you have unsubscribed from those communications and or you haven't checked on them and they're going to spam, you would never know. So it's
and that's a really good, so this is a really good point. I want to say this, and this also goes to VO Journey Academy too, is that we have a lot of people, and I think maybe it's just out of maybe abundance of caution that they do this, but I can't ever figure why. But they unsubscribe.
Yeah.
And if you unsubscribe to any of the lists, that means that the emails that are generated to notify you, like notification emails about things are happening, you don't get them.
And that really sucks, because every single day, right, Claire sends a lovely summary email of what's going on and some of the projects that are available. And I mean, again, it's like, why wouldn't you want to hear from a source of work?
No, absolutely. Well, here's another thing to know. So let's go through the exact process from beginning to end so everybody understands, right? Yeah. So basically what happens is that Gabby curates books, right? She finds projects, or projects come in from authors or whatever, and we format and we post that on the job posting board. Right. So you go in there, you scroll through, say, oh, looks like one I want to audition for. So you go in there, you hit the join button. You have to join that project. Once you go in there and join, you'll record your audition, and then you have to click on the comment area and the icon. Now, this was something that they changed, the website changed. This is important, making a new video about this too, and we'll send this out shortly to everybody. But you click on the mic icon, and that mic icon then allows you to upload your audio file,
that is good to know.
Right? It used to be where you just like dropped it, it was easy, but they've changed it. You had to click the mic icon, and that's a little different than some people are used to, right? But there you upload it. Now, there is a time frame, right, that each book is given, each audiobook is given on there, but oftentimes, depending, and we like to keep a rolling time of audiobooks that are available. If it is still up on the website, it is available. Okay, so you can, until it comes down, if you don't see it, it's no longer available. But if it's up on there, it's available, so you can keep auditioning. So then what happens is Gabby goes in there, takes the auditions, listens to them, and then decides which voice actor that she's going to cast for that audiobook. From there, she will then DM you through our messaging system, right, which is in the upper right-hand corner. If you're on the board, it's a little arrow, like a regular, it used to be a little chat bubble, but now it's a little message arrow right in the upper right hand corner. You click on that, or you get notified via email. Here's another. Well, I'll keep going with this, and I'll tell you that. But after that, right, you usually get all the information that you need. You'll get a link. You'll get the information about what to do and the script, the whole full script, and then you're off to the races. You will upload the audiobooks to the files formatted correctly to Dropbox. Then what happens is when that's finished, Angela comes in. All right, Angela takes those files. She has the information from the book that we're using and then the audiobook. All right, she formats all those files, checks all of them, does quality assurance. If there's an issue, Angela will then reach back out to you and say, hey, can you look at this and fix this or change this? We need this done, et cetera, et cetera. All right, once that happens, all right, you send it back to Angela. Angela gets that. Then she does a final check, formats that, goes in, creates the covers. She creates all of the description, the metadata, all the information that goes along that's required for us to publish the work. Then she takes all that, publishes the work, okay, and then she notifies everyone that the work has been published, okay, usually by on Academy Voices, and she also does it in the Discord. All right, Claire also does a weekly, so that's how that process works. Okay, very important. Well, let me stop there, ladies. Anything I missed there? That's from beginning to end?
We could back up just a teeny bit about the book selection process, but I can wait. We can circle back to that after you're done.
Yeah, let's. I want to say that one thing I think it happens a lot is that people get confused still with the idea that Academy Voices is completely separate. So whatever your login, now this might happen. You might go, because a lot of people happen this. They're like, I'm trying to log into Academy Voices, but it's not working because they're trying to use their VOJ Academy login, and that's different. It's not the same. You have to create your own.
Yeah, it's two
On
separate
top
sites.
of that, some people might use a different email, and that the notifications are going to a different email.
Yeah.
And you might not be, you might not just, it just might not be registering you with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So so it's very important to keep, and I'd say keep a spreadsheet, even a daily schedule of the messaging that you have to look at, but it is completely separate. The thing that binds us is that, of course, we run VOJ and we run Academy Voices. So they are linked because they're together, but they are really two separate entities. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
One's training, one's
Right.
work portal.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly it.
If we want to back up a little bit and talk about that, the book selection process and what I do there. Oh boy, guys. I mean, I feel like at this point I am a Project Gutenberg wizard of some sort.
You are.
I painstakingly, and I mean this painstakingly, find the books, and in many cases, because we publish a lot of short stories, because we're trying to make it efficient for all of you as well. It's kind of hard to commit to an 80,000 word book, but not so hard to commit to something that's 10,000 words. We go ahead and break up a lot of short story volumes, and this is all done by hand. I have to sit there with the original manuscript and break it up into individual stories and then create casting notices or audition notices for each and every one of those. It is a tremendous amount of time to do all of this.
Yes.
Now, yes, let's address the elephant in the room. We use AI assistants, okay? Or we use it as an assistant. We cannot possibly handle this kind of volume without it. Now, is AI doing the work? No. What we're doing is simply using, in this case, ChatGPT as
a formatting tool.
Yeah, a formatting tool to generate auditions that are consistent and the same every single time.
Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just want to talk about it because I kind of created this whole system. So
Yeah.
Gabby and Gabby's, Gabby and Angela, they have their own systems that they built off of what I created. So I want to tell you kind of what I shared with them to do and kind of what we do and how it works, because
Yeah.
some people have been confused about it. So so basically what we do is we've created a format, as you all know, right, that goes into the auditions that tells you the title of the book, how many words there is, what are some of the suggestions we have for the actors.
I recently added a genre category to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I created this. And then what I wanted to do was create something that would look the same across every single audition.
Yeah.
So what I did was I used my tool. I used ChatGPT to help me format the information that I already put together and just put it into a nice format, right? And what I didn't realize is that, and we realized this actually more recently, because it's very close, is that when you put a script into ChatGPT with the information and you ask it to format it how you have saved the template that you want it formatted for you, right? So instead of you filling out all the information, you can just dump the information in there you need and it will format it for you the way you ask it to. Well, what happens is that we found out that ChatGPT does not actually take the script verbatim. It summarizes
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
Right. And then we figured that out. All right. And that's kind of where we have now gone back to just manually taking it and you know what I mean, and making sure the script was the same. Because I understand it's confusing.
But I am only human. So every now and again, if something gets by me, right, and a script seems a little odd, or that it doesn't completely match the book, I mean, again, my attitude on it is a simple one. It doesn't matter, because from a casting perspective, we're looking at your performance in relation to the ask of the directions. The words make no difference. To be perfectly frank, guys, we could take the same script over and over and over again for every single audition and copy and paste, and it shouldn't matter, because it's your ability as an actor and your interpretation of the material that is going to determine, who gets selected. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
But I think what from the narrator's perspective, when they see an AI script, then they go, well, it's a representation of what they're investing their time in. And so they might go, oh, I don't want to do that. But keep in mind, that's not the actual book, but how do they know unless they go and check it themselves? So we understand the confusion there, but.
Right. And we've made a change.
Yeah.
And we've made that change to go back to it. Because, in the end, right, we're all here working together, and we want to make sure that it's, just working right for what everybody's doing. So,
but the reality, I think, too, is that we have to realize that even if I am pulling the excerpt directly from the book, what are we talking about? A paragraph and a half, maybe 2 paragraphs? That still isn't necessarily a great representation of the whole work. So
and that's a really, Gabby, I was going to say that's a really good point in some senses too, because if you think about it, when you want something to audition, or like, let's say you're doing your demo, right? And you want to do an audiobook demo or any sort of demo, you want to probably find, well, no, not probably, you do. You want to find the juiciest part, the part that's going to really shine, make you shine the most. You don't want the first couple of, unless those first couple of sentences are bangers, but you don't want, a random sentence or two from the audiobook that doesn't showcase anything.
Yeah.
However, how difficult is that to have to go through entire books and volumes of things in order to try to find those right moments?
Yeah.
So I do think that there is a sort of, there can be a happy place there. But I think for just for the sakes, we're going to go back to doing it the other way. But it does make it.
Oh, we already have. Yeah.
Yeah, we already have. But it does make it challenging sometimes. I think you're right, Gabby, on that sense.
There's one,
you know what I mean, to really be able to find an audition that's going to be like, okay, it's got these voices, it's got this level of intensity.
there's one other thing that, I've noticed here recently that's been happening, which is sometimes narrators are coming back to me, and even though I cast them for the project, they're then saying things like, "Oh, well, I don't want to do this because there's too much dialogue," or, "Oh, there's a subject matter here I'm not comfortable with." And unfortunately, I have to stress this. If you have some really stringent do's and don'ts when it comes to the books that you're willing to engage, then unfortunately you've got to do a little bit of extra research on that book prior to auditioning, because again, we can't possibly summarize it all. We can't possibly catch like all the little nuances or things. So, yeah, it's a broad overview when we post a book and what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's general.
Yeah.
That's a general that happens generally no matter where you go, right? You're not going to
Mhm.
know the full scope of a
No,
project,
no,
but
and it's what we're trying to minimize is projects being rejected, or an actor coming back and saying, "Oh, I don't want to complete this," or "I don't want to finish this," after having been cast, because that's very frustrating, and then we've wasted a lot of time that we effectively have to start over.
so I wanted to step back and I wanted to let everybody. So I think this is super cool. And I'm going to say why I think this whole thing is super cool. Not Gabby's frustration, but it's super cool because you guys were voice actors. How often do all of us get to pull back the veil and actually see what's happening on the other side and what frustrations might exist with us we don't even know?
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And because remember too, even though we are individual business owners, single entities, we are still ended up being lumped in with a variety of other people. So no matter what's happening with us individually, no matter what, tough day we're having, whether we don't feel like communicating that day or
Yeah.
not, you have to consider that, I can tell you one thing though, and then we get Angela. I want to get to you real quick because we wanted to talk about some of the stuff Angela's seeing on the back end when it comes to formatting.
Mm.
Is that I just hands down, and I could ask Gabby, I could ask Angela, I could ask anybody, but I even know too, because like I was publishing all the books before Gabby took over, or Angela took over. There are a few people, and I hate to say this, everybody, it's like literally on one hand or less, that are just phenomenal communicators.
Mhm.
Everything is turned in perfectly on
Mhm.
time. Everything is always right. And all I'm trying to say to you is those are the people that we were like, hands down, I'll work with you over and over and over and over again. I will bring you projects until the cows come home.
All casting directors go through that, and they all have their favorites as a result, and I think it's just an important thing to note. It doesn't matter whether it's something like what we do with a public domain work, or if it's a commercial that you're being cast for. One of the most devastating things for someone in casting is to have the talent come back and say, "I don't want to do that job," because then we have to run it back up the flagpole to the client and go, "Yeah, we have to pick somebody else," and that's tough. That's really, really tough. And so with the public domain stuff, it's not such a big deal, but the more authors we get in and the more we start working with authors, yeah, that's going to be pretty devastating for them if somebody then turns around and says, "I don't want to do it." Just FYI.
So Angela, kind of talk to us about what's going on your end. All right. Because you do all the processing, right? All of the formatting and all that jazz. And you were saying there's a couple things you've been noticing.
Yeah, and we've reviewed some of these things in Launchpad. And I told them again, it's not for my benefit; it's for you, as we were just talking about the representation of you as a professional, to make sure that when you're submitting your files, especially for audiobooks, that you take all the markers out of your files, like where you made mistakes and then you went back and address them. Take those markers out. You don't want to draw the attention of anyone to go and look at anything. You know what I mean? Don't say,
Well,
hey,
there's
there
a
was a
question, right?
mistake here.
Right. Then there's a question. Oh crap! Do I need to you were like, do I need to check this part? Like, is this
Right. Don't give the receiver of the files any reason to dig deeper if that's the case. So just remove the markers, and then also when you're uploading to a folder, all of your files into one folder, and then you change something and upload a new folder or a new file, remove the old one. I've had a couple of times where I'm going through audiobooks and I've got duplicate files and they're all different run times, and I don't know really. I mean, one's got a 1 next to it, so I know that's the newer one, but I mean, it's, just make it as easy as possible for whoever's receiving the files to do something with them.
I'm not sure they can actually remove them. I don't know if
Oh,
they
they
have
can't
they don't
from
have access.
Dropbox?
No, they don't have access to
Okay,
actually
well
go into the
then,
Dropbox.
not
Just
for
send us
me
a
then,
note.
anywhere else.
But you can also
Well,
send
yeah,
us
send a message. Definitely
Yeah.
send
send
a
a
message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And check your inboxes. Check your inboxes.
Well, I was going to say about that, Angela and Gabby, we're talking about the inbox. We talked about that in the beginning, and I think it's just something to be said. Don't. So just that lesson, and the cool thing about this is we're talking about Academy Voices, but guys, this is everywhere. This is all platforms, all clients, everywhere. And the cool thing is you're getting to hear about it in a safe environment from us, where it's not super high stakes. Right. From us, so that you can learn and get better at this when you actually go and you're working with higher, just different clients in different places, because they're not going to do this.
No.
They're not going to contact you and have a nice conversation about it. They're just going to be like, we're not going to ever use you again.
Yeah.
And then they won't even they just won't contact you. You won't know what happened.
Yeah.
And that's a shame. We don't want that to happen.
No. And sometimes I really do think that every once in a while, it's not often, but every once in a while I get this weird sense that a narrator will think like we're doing them a favor. I know that sounds weird, right? But it's kind of that, be careful of how you present, because at the end of the day, this is a paid opportunity. This is a chance for you to make long-term money over the course of a decade, right? Which is a big deal in any sphere. And it can just seem like, people aren't recognizing how much hands-on work we're doing as a team, and that we're putting into this process.
Well, and again, that's why I think this is really cool for us to chat about, because I don't know if we even, because I hardly, like, for example, there's a website called Voice Jungle. I don't know if anybody knows that website, and it's a subsidiary of Procom, right? And that there's the God bless that whoever is running, because I think there's only 1 or 2 people who run that side of that, because they always are on because I'm notoriously like, I'm like, okay, look, I'm not in my studio. You're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. And they're always like, please, this is a big client. Can you just do the audio for me? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm not in my studio. I'm that, oh my gosh, I'm the guy that we're talking about. But I say that, like, but here's the thing. I know I know their challenges as well, because they're trying their best to to keep everyone happy, and it's definitely a challenge. So the more that you can, as a voice actor, alleviate some of that problems, it almost adds it adds extra points to your work with me meter.
And I'll tell you, I think all of us can agree the ideal is simply communication, right?
Oh, yeah.
When someone comes back and they say, oh man, I saw this project, that's really great. I don't know about that deadline though. I have a couple things ahead of this. Can we adjust it? Can we? Absolutely. I bump deadlines for people all the time. I make adjustments all the time. Of course we can. But it's just communicating that and having an open dialogue rather than just shutting it down. That's the worst part. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for an extension, because I do know some people have come to me and they said they were worried, they didn't know, are they allowed to ask for some extra time because something's come up? Of course, that's the whole point is that we're here as voice actors working with other voice actors, we know
We get it.
we get it, but we don't know if you don't let us know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. All right, well, let's listen. I know this was we wanted to share with you guys today. It's not
we're pulling
so
back
many
the curtain.
wonderful things.
I mean, yeah.
But they're like, and all this times, I think what's exciting about all this, and what's really exciting too, is that there's so much wonderful stuff happening there, and we're basically, what's interesting is as it just continues to ramp up, and we continue to do more and more. And I will admit, I've pushed the limit on us. I'm pushing the limit, right? I was about to tell them how many more we got to get, but I was pushing the limit, and when that happens, right, when things get going, it can become overwhelming for everybody. And that's a challenge, especially you'll find as a voice actor, as you grow your business, you're going to get a job, then you're going to get another job, then someone's going to contact you and want you to do another job on top of another job while you're working on those other jobs. And you have to find a way to manage all of that effectively, in a manner in which you're communicating and everything is clearly understood. Okay. Some people might also something about audiobooks. Don't be afraid when you put, and this is something, so there is a comment section. Okay. I mean, you can comment on your stuff and you can also send messages. So let's say you audition for something and you send an audition and then you're like, oh, but I have 3 books in my queue, but I really liked this one and I want to send an audition. I'm going to message Gabby saying, hey, Gabby, I auditioned, but just so you know, if you do happen to choose me, I won't be able to start on this one until about a month and a half. So I just wanted to let you know, like, great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and now it's up to the casting director whether that fits into the schedule or not, but still it makes better sense than auditioning for 20 audiobooks and then we find out, that the voice actor is not available until 6 months later. And it's like, well, we casted you in 3 of them because you were great. And then, so it's just communicate that.
Yeah.
Communicate that.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Let's see. Angela, anything else?
Well, we had a couple of good questions.
Okay, yeah. Let's set up the questions. All right. So where do we start? Where was the first question? Is it Ryan?
I think.
Oh wait. Here we go.
Yeah, homebound audio.
Slightly so postpone if needed. But speaking of schedules, do you all have a good resource or reference for production schedule tool or spreadsheet? A production schedule tool.
That would be a great thing to create, but everybody's schedule and production schedule is going to be a little bit different. I think that's going to depend on what time you have available and how much time you have available every day.
I mean, you can really easily make your own now. Smartsheet, Airtable. Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many tools. Monday, Asana.
Are we talking about like a CRM? Is that what they mean by production schedule?
I would assume so, because with so many CRMs now, right? They do more than just handle contact management. They go into your literal day-to-day and how you manage your workload.
Now, I will tell you this, Ryan. I created a spreadsheet. You have access to it. It's in the marketing courses on VOJ. And that spreadsheet, I built it. It has multiple tabs. And each of those tabs, a lot of it, it's for marketing, you're auditioning. And it gives you like Monday through Sunday. It has goal sections. It has that. I would say that's probably the first place to start. That's a part of your membership. Check it out. You can download that file. It's in the marketing course under marketing, the courses section through your library. That's probably a great thing. It's a really great spreadsheet. I wish more of the VOJ people would use that resource because it's phenomenal. I think it's still the best course I ever made, but it doesn't get as much credence because I don't think it's as, marketing. It's not.
I didn't know it was there.
Well, that's all right. But a lot of people, you know what I mean? And see, communication. I need to communicate more. But anyways, that's where I would start with that. That was that one.
Cool.
Okay, let's see. Where else do we got here?
I think that was it.
Was that the only?
Paul Silver had a good comment about. I noticed that when I recorded my book, I was like, "Where's the section that was the audition?"
Yeah. Yeah. But he said didn't make a difference to me
Right.
because the vibe,
vibe
was
was
the
the
same. So I
same.
totally get it. Also,
Yeah.
Paul, where's my freaking donut?
Ooh.
Yep.
said you
Where's the
can't-
donuts? We've
where's the
got
donuts?
donuts and
My-
cherry
my-
fritters in the chat.
Purple people eater friend, where are they? But yeah, I think that was all. Well, cool.
Get one of the finger. Oh, that's funny. It's mind blowing that you have to actually ask people to communicate. Adulting is hard.
It is.
Well,
It is.
I want to say, I also really want to say that you guys, and you'll know the reason why I brought up Voice Jungle is because somehow, whatever it is, I have the notification set up on my phone so that whenever I get a job, the notification, because it's sent to my email, and then the email notifies me on my phone. So I get the notification.
Right.
So like if you don't have that stuff set up, or you unsubscribed, or you didn't, you have to do like perfect example is ACX. Everyone complains about the communication system on ACX, but the reality of it is that we don't have it set to notify us unless you do.
Mhm.
Right. And if you have it set to notify, you will be notified with a notification on your phone. So if you don't want that, which a lot of people don't, what you need to do is, going off again what Ryan was saying earlier, create your own little daily notepad or whatever where you say, I need to check A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Take a few moments and just check it. Log on, look and see the communication, see if you've missed something, because something might have happened. But don't leave it to chance. Like, don't wait for people to hunt you down. It'll never work. You know what I mean? You've got to be a little pesky. I mean, serious. You've got to pay attention and get on there. I will say about the communication on my side, I was nervous to message Angela and Gabby because I didn't want to bother them because I know they're so busy, but I messaged them anyway.
Bother us. Do it.
We're busy working for you. So please bother us.
Do you guys think, I honestly think, I know we're at the end here, but I honestly think that is a lot of, I think a lot of people feel that way. I mean, I hear that a lot.
I do too.
I mean, I can understand you guys are really intimidating. I'm not. I'm cuddly as a bear, but you guys are crazy. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to contact somebody.
No, not intimidating at all.
No, I was kidding, of course. But I do see that, right? You know, like people say, hey, like even with me, they'll say, hey, I'm so sorry to contact you. I know you're so busy. And I'd be like, yeah, we're busy, but that doesn't, but the whole point is we're here exactly what Angela said. We're here for you. So like, if in fact, if no one's contacting me, I get worried. I'm like, why is no one contacting me? Everybody hates me. Like, that's it. And everyone's like, I don't want to contact them because I think I even message. I tell that I message Gabby and Angela that, and they're like, oh my God, shut up.
Stop it.
Everybody likes you. Be quiet. I get
everything's
worried.
fine.
And then when I ask people, they're like, oh my God, you're so busy. We don't want to contact you. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I guess that's okay. Thank you.
That is
weird. We're
so
weird. People,
funny.
right? I'm weird people.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
All right. Well, on that note, Anthony's weird people, we will call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching. And listen, I know we hope that the information that you're gathering here will like help you with your whole business, because we are just a small microcosm of what every place is going through. And if you can be that one voice actor on that roster, or even on Fiverr or on ACX or on Voices or through email or wherever, that is reliable, communicative, shows up exactly the same professional way every time, does not have problems. Now, I said does not show, let me rephrase that. We all have problems, but does not show like I have, like sometimes I'll get like 4 paragraphs of, my life is, I get it. I'll stop. But the thing I'm trying to say is show up, be positive, be excited. People love that.
Yeah.
Because we don't get it very often, surprisingly. Okay. So
I can't believe how many clients tell me that too. Oh my God, you responded.
Right. Isn't that wild?
That's
like
crazy.
Totally.
It means everything. Communicate. Just communicate. Just be available.
It really does.
So this is an interesting thing. I'm interested, Marilyn. Maybe we could chat on thing, because she says I have AI agents that do a lot for me, but Anthony's spreadsheet is gold. Thank you. So I'm interested in the AI age because you were talking. I think Marilyn was talking about that the other day too, and I was just more interested. So we'll chat, Marilyn. I want to hear more about what you mean by AI agents. Like, is it? I'm interested what that is
For like automating,
because we're all of us here, all
Yeah.
three of us here are really big on using the tools, current tools, to better our businesses.
Yeah.
Not replace us, but better our businesses. So
They
I'm always
really do
interested in
help.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have a wonderful day. We'll be back open forum Friday tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Audition.